and welcome back. So in this video we would look at some interesting stuff. We would begin our project on creating a script that we would be using to be creating our bash scripts. So to look at that, we, as always, we create a file name and then we change the mode. After changing the mode, you open it up and then you do what? You declare your shebang, the path to where your bash utility is before you insert your commands. You see that this process is kind of repetitive for every bash script we want to create. So wouldn't it be nice if we can automate this by just creating a small bash script that we can always use to be creating other bash scripts? That would be interesting. So now let's look at it. So to do that, so this is actually the last time we are doing this. So we attach a bash script or a file. Now I want to make it look like a command. So this particular one, I wouldn't add .sh to it. But if you like, you can add .sh to it. I want it to look like, if I'm running it, I want it to be like create maybe a file name or something, right? So it looks like it's a command like the move or the make directory or the cd or the others. Okay. So bear in mind that this is a file, just that I chose not to add a .sh to it. If you know it will confuse you, you can add a .sh to it. It wouldn't hurt. So create, touch, create, and then chmod it. So 755. And then the name of the file called create. Bear in mind this creator is a file. I chose not to add a .sh to it, right? So if I hit enter and I do ls, I should see my create here. The color is green. So basically it means that it's executable. But when I come here, you see that here, since I have not added the .sh to it, the extensions or the colors haven't changed here, right? But it doesn't matter. We know that it's a file and we would want to make it executable. Turn it into a bash script. So as I said, you declare your shebang and then the path to where your bash utility is or your shell is. So now you see that the moment I inserted a shebang, automatically it detected and realized that no, it's a bash script after all. So it brought back the icon there. Okay, so now I can save this. Now, first things first, this script is supposed to create a file for us, right? So wouldn't it be nice if we can declare or it will access for the file name or the file type that we would want to create? Yes. So it means that we are going to learn something new here. To receive an input or an input from a user from the terminal, we use the read command, which means that it's going to read the input or whatever you are going to tell it. But then we want it to prompt us, give us something, maybe insert a file name or something. So first, instead of echoing like, let's say echo, please insert a file name. Please, what is the name? What is the file name? File name here, like this. Before we read, right? Before we read, so when we run this, let's say dot create, like this, it asks what is the file name. Then maybe I say hello dot text, something like this, right? If I rerun it, you see this, and I say hello, and then it runs. Instead of this, I want to just use one line, right? So to do this whole thing just in one line, I'll comment this one out. You can type the read and then option P, that's to prompt you, and then you pass your message, right? So what is the name of the file? What is the name or the file name? Oh, sorry. the file name. So here, when I rerun this script, I get what is the file name, and then now you can say hello, something like this, and then it's gone. But then I want it to probably move to the next line. So let me see. /n, would it work? Nope. So hello. So here you can make it maybe interesting, a colon and a space so that it comes here, and then you just put hello.sh here like that. Okay. So now we know how to prompt the user what is the name of the file and then read something from the user. But then we want to store it, right? In the previous video, we know how to declare a variable, assign the string or something to the variable, and then use it in echo and some other things. Now we want to read from the person and then store it in a variable. So to do that, you can give it a variable name, right? So that's name. And then now, if I come back here and say create, I said hello. Sorry, let's echo something here. So let's just echo the name, $name. I said that it's just a convention. Sorry, the name here was like this. The convention is to use all caps, but I'm trying to be stubborn here. So hello, you see, it prints the hello here, which means that it reads, first prompts the user what is your or the name of the file, and then stores the variable name or the name that you provide it inside a variable called name. Okay, but let me address this variable. I want to call it file name. So let's call it file name. Now I'm trying to be a good boy. Okay, so file name. All right. So now, for now, we are getting the file name from the user, and then we are echoing it, but that's not what we want. We want to create, right, that file name, right? So what we want to actually echo is a prompt or notification that we are creating a file like that. So creating file name, right? So creating file name file. I see. So dots. So that it looks like it's something fun. And then from the previous video, we realized that how to just create, we use a touch. So we can just use the bash commands inside the script, then make sure that we put them in the order in which we want them to run, and then they will run well. So we want to touch the file name, right? The file name. So which means that we are touching a name, a file that is called this name, right? Okay. So basically that's what you want to do. When we save it and rerun the script, we have, when we rerun the create, or let me just do // create, then it asks for the file name. Let me call it greetings or sedem.txt or sh. And when I hit enter, it tells me creating sedem.sh. And then when I do ls, I see sedem.sh here. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so in as much as we've been able to create, bear in mind that what we learned here is to read, that's to receive input from the user. Not only that, attach a prompt that would prompt the user that give us this is what we want. Not only that, we've been able to assign the things or the values that we read from the user to a variable called file name. Then we echoed it, which we already did in the first video, and then created a file with the variable name called file name. So basically that's that. Now, the next thing we want to do before I close this video or I put this video to an end is to make this file executable. Bear in mind that we create a file name, we make it executable, and then we put the shebang, we declare the shebang into it. So let's finish with that one quickly. So to do that, we say we want to do what? Echo. So after creating a file name, we want to echo that, making it executable. Echo making file name executable. File name executable. Executable. Bear in mind that the echo is just to declare the status. What is actually doing it is the chmod 755, then the file name, right? Okay. So now we have this. Bear in mind, okay, let me use a different format of the file name here. Bear in mind, I said you can either use this way or you use it this way. It doesn't really matter. So now, after making it executable, we now want to do what? Echo the shebang or declare the shebang inside it. There are two ways. You can either open up the file and type it yourself, or you automate that one too. So I want to really do that one. I want to automate that one. I want to do that. We know that. So let me just echo another one. Declaring shebang. Declaring our shebang. Shebang. Into file name. So we have file name here. Bear in mind that you keep the variable names the same, right? Okay. So to do that, we echo, right? The shebang, right? And you say that one is exclamation / bin / what? Bash. Okay. And then here, instead of echoing this to the standard output, that's the terminal or the screen for us to see, we want to redirect it into the file called the file name, right? So we are redirecting this one here. Instead of declaring it to the screen or echoing it to the screen, just like the status declarations that we are doing here, we want to put this one or redirect it into what? The file name that we've created. So let's look at that. So to quickly run this, we say we can use source or dot / create, right? When we hit enter, it's access for our file name. So I said I want Paul.sh. No, so let's call this go.sh. When I hit enter, it tells me now creating go.sh, making go.sh executable, declaring shebang into it. So let's see whether it really did that. If I do ls, I see the go.sh, and then the color is also changed. If I do ll go.sh, I say, okay, well, it has added the executable, that's fine. And then now let me cut the sh, or we can also actually view it here, but let me just cut it. So if I cut the go.sh here, I see that, well, the shebang has been declared nicely into it. So, well, we've been able to accomplish a goal. We've been able to read inputs from the user, that's take inputs from the terminal, create a prompt, right, without actually necessarily echoing the same thing to the screen, and then store the inputs inside a variable name. Aside that, you're able to echo the status, obviously, and then touch the variable name or the file name that we got, chmod it or change the mode or the permissions on the file, and then we declared our shebang into the file. So basically that's what we've done in this video, but then there's more we can do. The question is, what if I don't want the file to asks me for the file name, I just want to pass the file names right after the bash script create. Okay, how am I going to go about that? What if I want to check whether the file exists, the file name I'm trying to create exists or not, even before I do that? What if I want to create multiple files at a go and make all of them executable? What if I want to create the file, declare my shebang into it, and open up the file for editing? What if I want to, or the machine I'm currently on, the path to my bash is not here, so I want to write a generic path, right? Because here, if you check this command, if I type which bash, you see that it gives me a specific path, right? So what if I want to generically type this instead of statically like hard coding this one into it, so it becomes default or normal, right? So you see, if you really want to get the answers to this and do them, you can actually try doing them on your own. But if you can't and you want to learn more, then you have to continue this tutorial series.